The listening process. You are not listening to me, says the teacher. Sir, I am listening to you, the teacher. The student replies, no, you are not. The teacher emphatically says the problem is simple. The student is not able to focus 10% or what the teacher is speaking, and the teacher is able to sense it is important to be good listener and to be perceived as one. Listening is the process of receiving and interpreting the spoken word. It involves recognizing what's said and comprehending the matter, that is what is understanding the main subsidiary points as well as a link between the different parts of speech. This means that effective listening involves are not only recognizing unit links between the different part of the speech. This means that effective listening involves not only recognizing unit boundary phonologically, it is also the recognition of the false start, pause, hesitations, tracks, and intonation and rhythm pattern. While receiving and interpreting the spoken word, the listener is concerned with four factors, that is, sensing, message, decoding, or interpreting, evaluating, and response as illustrated. Listening begins with physical hearing the message and taking note of it. Sensing is thus the first step of the listening process. You hear sound and concentrate on them in order to receive the message. You recognize unit boundary phonologically, as it is important for you to recognize phonological difference. Once you are able to recognize the sound pattern, you have to decode the interpret the message. Decoding the interpreting in listening refers to the process of changing the code message into information. It involves understanding the spoken language, although interpretation of a verbal message may be influenced by your social, cultural, education, professional, intellectual frames of reference. Verbal message use a common language code which can be easily decoded, because if the message cannot be decoded or understood, communications fails. For example, if you do not understand French, you are not a decode as message in code in French. In order to evaluate the verbal message correctly, facts have to separate it from opinion, relevant information from irrelevant information, examples from ideas, and explicit information from the explicit information. We have to construct a parallel message based upon the sound cues received from the speaker. Oh yes. We should be aware of your own prejudices and biases, that we avoid making wrong conclusion. Response is the action or reaction of the listener to the message. It is the last stage of listening. If the message has been analyzed, interpreted, and evaluated correctly, the response will be appropriate. The response makes the communication more effective, as it clarifies the message, helps the speakers to know whether the message has been understood or not. Hearing and listening. A clear distinction should be made between between listening and hearing.